here at the Safety and Health Expo. We've got a lot of exhibitors, a lot of products, a lot of innovations when it comes to making sure that people are safe in the workspace. I'm chatting with someone here who's talking about health in the workspace. Steve Perkins from BOHS. How are you doing?
Well, David, thank you. It's good
Brilliant.
to see you.
Yeah, good. Now, tell me first of all what the BOHS is.
BOHS is a professional membership body for anybody who has a concern about protecting worker health. The OHS in there is Occupational Hygiene Society, and hygiene is an interesting word because people think food safety, hand washing, but it's not that. It's about protecting people from getting cancer, lung disease, losing their hearing, all those sorts of things in the workplace.
Right, so let's talk about what risks there are in the workplace that can lead to some of these negative outcomes, for want of a better term.
Well, I guess a lot of people think that what's called occupational exposures are granddad's disease. They think it's asbestos and nobody gets exposed to that now, or they think mesothelioma from coal mining days. But the truth is, even with asbestos, people are getting exposed today because there's so much of it out there in buildings when refurbs and things are done. But also, there's a whole range of exposures that happen, whether it's noise-induced hearing loss. You've only got two ears. Do you really want to lose them? There are 20,000 new cases a year of that. If I start quoting you some of the stats, you might look a bit shocked, because actually there are 13,000 deaths every year, and that's a conservative estimate from the HSE.
In the UK, 13,000.
Talking in the UK, you can find these numbers. They're on the Health and Safety Executives Statistics website. Just put it in Google, you'll see the numbers. The shocking thing is that not a lot of people know those numbers are there.
No. Well, they're certainly new figures to me, so thank you very much for bringing those to light. What are you about here at the show today, then?
Well, I guess our purpose is we want to change the world.
Good luck with that.
Quite simply, because using you as a one-man focus group, most of the public don't know about this sort of thing. And the reason they don't know about it really is it's a number of factors, but mainly latency. Latency means the time gap between when you get exposed and when a disease develops. And the trouble with lung diseases, cancers, things like that, skin diseases sometimes, it can be 10, 20, 30 years later. So it can actually be that the business that gives you the disease that causes the death, you're not on their books when you die. And so it's almost an out of sight, out of mind thing. And our job here is to raise awareness.
So how do you make these correlations then? How do you engage with people who may well have a complaint or may well have a suspicion that their occupation 10, 15 years ago may be the source of whatever they're suffering from now?
Okay, well that side of it really is the clinical side. That's the medical practitioners, because they're dealing with diseases that people already have. So if someone goes along to their GP, there's questionnaires and things that a GP will do to trace the occupational history. My guys deal with stopping it happening in the first place, because we really do believe prevention is better than cure.
So how does your society try and make that happen? How do you try to change the world?
Okay, it's a good question. For many years what we've done is the things that most normal professional societies will do. Membership, we push the science forward, we have the world's leading journal on occupational hygiene, conferences, all that sort of thing. It's only just recently that we have taken on our first awareness campaign. We got a Royal Charter in 2012. The Royal Charter is basically the government and the Queen saying, take responsibility for this area of the nation. So we think it's our responsibility to do something about worker health protection. And so what we did was we decided we'll do a first awareness campaign. It's called Breathe Freely. It's on respiratory disease, because there are 12,000 deaths a year due to different sorts of respiratory disease. But we picked the construction industry because in practice it's one of the dirtiest, ill-healthiest industries, has been for many years. And we've produced a campaign, a whole bunch of materials, breathefreely.org, you'll find them all there. And excitingly, we've found there's a lot of traction with the big construction people. So HSE are back in it, Crossrail, Thames Tideway, Kia, Skanska, all of those people. We started the launch in April, and we hope to make a difference in construction.
You can see some of these Breathe Freely materials just behind you on the stand here. And I guess, we do have so many huge-scale construction projects taking place. I mean, even here in London, when you think about Crossrail and so forth, and all the building that's happening in the city. I just want to dive quickly into the Charter, and you say that means that you get a kind of badge of responsibility from the government and from the Queen and so on. Yeah. Does that give you power, just thinking about how you change the world, does that give you a say into government to try and influence their decisions, to try and influence policy perhaps?
I hope so, and I'm pursuing that as best we can. Basically, at the end of the day, let's be real, the market decides. The market decides. So we have to persuade business that it's in business's interests to protect the health of their workers. I mean, it's not rocket science that there's a moral case for it, but we have to try and make the business case as well. We work closely with the HSE to influence regulation and standards, but the reality is, and broadly speaking, the sound from my membership is, we have enough regulation. The issue is awareness and actually doing something about it. You know, the exposure limits are there, but if you don't actually assess properly occupational exposures, it'll be hear no evil, see no evil, there is no evil. And that's the game that we've got to crack.
Finally, for now, Steve, just talk to me about being here at the show. You're having some good conversations. You feel as though it's raising your awareness. Are you getting from being here what you wanted to get out of being here?
Absolutely. I mean, this is the second year we've done an educational programme. Just in the theatre behind us there, we've had a packed programme of technical things and also, you know, big message type things. Standing room only for most of the presentations, and then we've had a lot of interest on the stand as well. So we come and we do this for free because we want to get the messages out there, because health and safety, I'll come back to those stats that I started with. We've done a fantastic job on occupational safety over the last century. In fact, accident deaths have come down from 5,000 to under 140 a year. And then you put 13,000 deaths from health alongside that, and you think, hang on a minute, health and safety, we need to put the H back into it.
Indeed. A lot of work still to do, but hopefully you will succeed in your challenge of changing the world. As Steve Perkins, the Chief Executive Officer of the BOHS, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you, David.
And good luck with changing the world, mate.